it's Achilles at this point?
Yeah, it is. We feel like we think it's an Achilles. He's getting an MRI. We're waiting for the result, but it looks like an Achilles injury here.
From, just a personal standpoint, when something like that happens, what is your feeling, your immediate feeling for the person?
Horrible, sucks. You hate to see it, especially the way he went down right away. And once you get there, and you're asking what's going on, and then just how everything developed after that. I feel sorry for the guy, especially how big he's been for us and the way he's been throwing the ball the whole year. He's been pretty consistent, So, yeah, it's unfortunate. You hate to see it. You feel for the guy, and we just got to wait now.
That being said, for tonight in particular, what did you see from Warren and Nunez and Diaz and Stanek?
Yeah, unbelievable job. Once Griff goes down, yes, you hate to see it, but in the back of my mind, it's like, how are we going to get through 9 innings here? For Warren to go out there, finish that inning, go back out for the 4th and the 5th, just throwing strikes, using all of his pitches, keeping hitters off balance, mixing in the sweeper, the sinker, elevating the fastball, just mixing the speed there and giving us a chance, throwing strikes. Then Nunez, probably the best we've seen out of him, kind of like the version of the Nunez that we saw last year consistently. The velo, the slider, throwing strikes, 2+ innings there. Stanek, probably wanted to stay away from him. But for him to come in there, I think it was only 7 pitches. Again, attacking, throwing strikes, and then Sugar finish it off. Hell of a job by the bullpen there.
Dave, Carlos, based on how it went down, you probably weren't even looking at him when he fell, right? You were following the ball at that point? Did you just turn around all of a sudden?
Yeah,
I was on the ground?
Yeah, I was watching the play, and before you know it, I see him on the ground, and it's not a good feeling there. Yeah, I wasn't even watching him.
Andrew?
When that happens and maybe the initial shock wears off, did you sense that the guys kind of rallied around a situation like that?
Yeah, you never know how guys are going to respond. It's a moment of silence. The dugout kind of goes quiet for a little bit, and it takes a couple of innings. I just feel like Warren being able to go out there and taking us through the 5th inning, then that's when you start seeing the guys kind of like getting out of it. But at first, when it happens, you hate to see one of your teammates go down like that, and then the way he couldn't walk off the field. It's a hard feeling for all of us there. But again, good job by the guys, and we were able to get the job done today.
Daniel left.
Carlos, frustrante para ustedes, 2 entradas y 2 tercios de lanzador abridor. Sin embargo, vino ese bullpen, incluyendo Núñez, 4 ponches en 2 entradas, que fue que colaboró bien para que ustedes ganaran.
Sí, mira, de verdad que primero que nada la noticia de Griffin Canning es lamentable ver cómo cayó, y pues esperando pues los resultados de la resonancia magnética, pero cuando Warren tira los innings y nos pone en el 6º inning y ver a Núñez de la manera como lanzó probablemente sus mejores 2 innings este año, es la versión del Núñez que vimos el año pasado, donde era uno de los high leverage para nosotros, ¿no? Y para él hoy conseguir esos 2 innings, 98, 99, el slider tirando strike con convicción, esa es la versión que nosotros estamos buscando. Importante para él, importante para nosotros, y obviamente pues Stanek y Díaz terminando el trabajo. Gracias a Dios conseguimos la victoria, pero obviamente una mala noticia con Griffin.
Bill on the right.
Canning was inconsistent with the Angels. What made him one of the most improved pitchers in the National League this year?
I think a lot of things. The buy-in from everything that we had to offer to him, and then him applying and executing on the field, whether it's the sequencing, the way he was using all of his pitches, whether it was the slider, the changeup, and then the fastball. And the fastball was playing up big time. We saw how 95, 96, especially at the top, and the sharp, the slider is a pretty sharp pitch, the changeup. So I think this is a guy that put himself in a really good position, And but now, obviously, we just got to wait. But he's pretty good for us.
Abby.
After leaving a few on base in some of the early innings, what was the lineup able to do to grind and scratch some runs across and put some separation there?
Continue to stay on the fight. The one thing that I keep saying is, as long as we're creating traffic and creating opportunities, we're gonna come through. You know, and we saw it today. We got second and third. We didn't. I don't think we scored that inning, and then first and third, finally TT with a sac fly, but then Pete was able to come through. There a lot of good at bats, especially with 2 outs. Again, I thought overall we won some counts that put ourselves in a better position. Couple of walks, 3-2 by Beatty, 3-1 by Jeff. But overall, you know, as long as we're creating traffic, we're going to have a lot of opportunities with runners in scoring position, and we got a lot of good hitters, so they'll come up big for us.
A veteran team who a lot of these guys were around last year when you guys didn't start off great, but this has been a month of quite a bit of adversity. Have you learned anything new about this team's mental toughness?
No, just basically the same thing we saw last year, what we saw in spring training when some of the injuries and some of our guys going down, and for us to continue to go out there and find a way to get the job done this month, you know, these past 10, 12 days with injuries, not getting the results. And then just how steady, how consistent they stay throughout. There's no panic, but yeah, there's a sense of urgency of how we're going to get better. What do we need to do as a group individually to go out there and get out of this stretch? And little by little, we'll continue to do the things that we need to do. And, you know, obviously we got to be healthy. But as far as the group goes, they're consistent, they're resilient, they have grit, they fight, they compete, and they have fun.
Dave on the left.
I was just going to say, Carlos, along those same lines. I mean, you just had your worst stretch of the season record-wise, and then you just lost 3 starting pitchers in 2 weeks, and at the end of the night, you're back in first place. So what does that say about what you guys have been able to?
Yeah, I mean, he goes to show you that those guys are, you know, they're up for the challenge, you know, and when everything comes at you, you know, and it happens every year. You know, you're going to face adversity, and just how you're going to handle it and how you're going to respond. Part of this stretch, we lost 2 starters, you know, very quickly with Senga and McGill. And here we are now with Griff going down. We got some reinforcements coming back. Guys will step up, you know. Guys will come up from the minor leagues. I know Davies, you know, doing his part with his group. And again, we just got to stick together. Got to take it one day at a time. Don't look too far ahead. Whatever's in the past is in the past. Today is the most important day.
Andrew on the right.
Just going back to Nunez, he recorded 4 outs 2 days ago and now 6 outs today. Do you feel more comfortable just deploying him a little bit more freely now physically after everything's been through?
Yeah, and I feel like the pitching group, they've done a tremendous job kind of building that workload to put him in that position, you know, not afraid to go multiple innings. And then today, with him being pitch efficient after that first one, it was an easier decision. But again, you got to give the player, Nunez, in this case, some credit because he continues to work really, really hard. But obviously, the pitching coaches putting together a very good plan and working together with player development to make sure that, you know, for a potential role like this, he was ready for it, and he showed it today.
Will on the left.
Hey, Carlos, you kind of touched on it there, but just what do you make of the state of your starting rotation at this point?
What do I make? Well, we lost what? This is our 3rd one now, right? Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. You know? So we'll find a way. We'll find a way. Guys will step up. You know, we got, again, our mentality is what do we need to do today? You know, so I'm pretty confident on the guys that we got in that room. I'm pretty confident that the guys that will come up are going to give us opportunities to win baseball game, and we'll continue to do so.
All right. Thank you very much, Carlos.